Labor Day. Now, many of us just think of this as just a regular day to just sit back and enjoy. But what does it really mean? So when we commemorate this holiday, what is the purpose? We will touch on its history, what it means, and more. You are watching BS3 presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson on Roku TV via BS3, BS3TVLive.com, and the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. You are listening to it live on the Real Wise Radio Network, and it starts right now. Oh my goodness, Shifter. I cannot believe we are here. Welcome to another week, and welcome to BS3 Presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson. It is Monday, September 2nd, 2024. It is hard for me to actually form my lips to say it is Labor Day. Wow. It's amazing that we're here. It's amazing that you're here, Shifter. And along with understanding why we celebrate Labor Day, we're going to also touch on, enlighten the way, the reason why work is so important to God. That is what's going to be on tap for later. Also for later, we're going to touch on the Disney DirecTV kerfluffle. And it actually left a few customers upset because the Disney channels actually went dark. So what does it mean by going dark? I'll touch on that and the other topics later. But for now, let's start you up, shall we? And here's what's taking place in the world today. Does that change rooms? Here we go. One person has died and two others are injured after a person opened fire into a crowd at Clairton, Pennsylvania. Now, according to police, at almost 4 a.m. on Sunday, first responders and police also were notified of a scene where multiple people were fighting in the street after receiving multiple reports of a disturbance, according to a press release from the Allegheny County Police Department. Now, when police arrived about 10-ish minutes later, they heard multiple shots fired into the crowd. Police later detained one person at the scene. Detectives are investigating the shooting, according to the police department. And if you want to know where Clairton is located, it is a suburb 15 miles south of Pittsburgh. Recovering from a gunshot wound he suffered from in a robbery attempt, San Francisco 49ers San Francisco rookie wide receiver, was released from the hospital on Sunday. The team announced that their draft pick, Mr. Pearsall, and 17-year-old suspect, they were injured in a struggle following the attempted robbery Saturday afternoon in Union Square area. Now, both transported to a Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital, according to the police from San Francisco. A decision on charges for the suspect, which should be filed in juvenile court, is expected to come later in the week. And the San Francisco District Attorney, Brooke Jenkins, told reporters on Saturday night that the police chief and he said that there's no reason to believe that the number one draft pick for Joshua for season for the 49ers was targeted simply because he was a professional football player. Prayers to you and hope everything is right with you, sir. Angelina Jolie is finding her voice. The star that you know from Maleficent and the Tomb Raider series and others, spoke with The Hollywood Reporter in an interview published Friday about starring as an opera singer. And that opera singer is Marie Callas in the buzzy new biopic Maria, or Callas, which premiered Thursday at the Venice Film Festival. Jolie revealed that she was nervous to sing in a movie after an ex made her question her musical abilities. She shared this news. She shared this news with The Hollywood Reporter, saying, quote, "It was an out-of-body experience because I don't sing. I had somebody in my life who was not kind to me about singing. It was a relationship I was in, and so I just assumed I couldn't really sing. And I'd been to theater school, and so it was weird that even if it had an effect on me. So I just kind of adapted to this person's opinion. So it took me getting past a lot of things to start singing." Close quote. Jolie wisely did not name the ex in question. But if Hollywood exec feels as though you can play an opera singer, I guess you've got some pipes. So there you go, Angelina. A trucker who was distracted by TikTok and speeding in the Phoenix area last year caused a crash that killed 5 people. Now he's going to spend the next 22 years of his life in prison. The catastrophic crash that devastated the lives of 6 families is just one of millions of car crashes that in the U.S., which kill many thousands of people. Last year, 41,000 people died in traffic crashes, according to preliminary data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Some of the leading causes of the crashes include distracted driving, speeding, and drug and alcohol use. Just in 2022, more than 3,300 people were killed on U.S. roadways because of distracted driving. That's according to the Safety Administration. So if you're out there on the roads, especially today, be safe, please. Alex Earl is apologizing again for using racial slurs directed at Black people a decade ago. The social media breakout star rose to fame by posting, quote, "Get ready with me," close quote, videos as a college student at the University of Miami, while talking openly about her life. And she addressed the post on Friday and promised to, quote, "do better," close quote. She now hosts the wildly popular Hot Mess with Alex Earl podcast. And she captioned on a TikTok post about that, quote, "I will continue to learn, listen, and do better. Love you all," close quote. She subsequently told her fans that she handled the situation, quote, "terribly, and I recognize that, and I agree with you guys," close quote. Earlier last week, the popular podcaster broke her silence on screenshots from when she was 13 that her show used a racial slur, which had been circulating online. The Forbes 30 Under 30 social media lists recipient, she confirmed the screenshots were real and apologized for her word choices as a teen. And now she's apologized for word choices as a teen, as a young adult. Isaac Freeman III. Now, you might not know that name, but you definitely know his pseudonym. The award-winning rapper and hype man, he is more professionally known as Fat Man Scoop. Unfortunately, he passed away this weekend after suffering a medical emergency on stage. Fat Man Scoop's death was confirmed Saturday in a statement shared on his verified Instagram page. The statement was released from Freeman's family, and it stated, quote, "It's with profound sadness and very heavy hearts that we shared news of the passing of the legendary, iconic Fat Man Scoop. Friday night, the world lost a radiant soul, a beacon of light on the stage and in life," close quote. USA Today has reached out to representatives for Freeman for more information. None has been forthcoming. Now, back on Friday, a video shared by TMZ showed Fat Man Scoop appearing to suffer a medical emergency right there and collapsing on stage while performing during a concert at Town Center Park in Hamden, Connecticut. Our prayers are with everybody in Fat Man Scoop's family and his friends, and we will miss that wonderful beacon of light. If you're a dog owner, good news. Your dog can eat watermelon. However, this does come with some precautions. The watermelon should be seedless, the American Kennel Club advises. Seeds are a choking hazard and could lead to gastrointestinal issues. This is from Pet MD. It is also important to remove the rind since consuming it may cause an upset stomach, the American Kennel Club adds. Watermelon is a low-calorie fruit full of vitamins A, B6, and C, and potassium, according to the Mayo Clinic. It has no fat, sodium, or cholesterol, making watermelon a healthy treat alternative for your pet. Also, information admitted by the Mayo Clinic. The following sports update is brought to you by the Playmakers Blog Network. On the court, U.S. Open action. Unfortunately for the men's and the women's singles tournament, we will be crowning new champions. On the men's side, Novak Djokovic, he got ousted on Friday in 4 sets. And unfortunately, the defending women's champ, Coco Gaufff, struggled and erred her way out of the tournament yesterday in a 3 sets battle against Emma Navarro. And this is the second straight major tournament. This has happened. I think it was around round 16. Navarro upset Gaufff. No, I think it was the third round. Navarro upset Gaufff in Wimbledon. So has Gaufff found her kryptonite? Well, we shall find out in the years to come. From Flushing Meadow to the hardwood. Let's go to NCAA variety, the women's game. South Carolina women's basketball standout, Ashton Watkins. She was unfortunately arrested on Saturday. She was charged with first-degree assault and battery, as well as kidnapping on the school's campus. Watkins was released on $30,000 personal recognizance bond, awaiting trial. To the Lynx, and Scotty Scheffler wins the Tour Championship by 4 strokes. The world's number one takes the $25 million reward and the FedEx Trophy along with that number one world's ranking. From the Lynx to the Diamond, and the White Sox, they set a franchise record. I know this will make all Southsiders that I know very distraught. The Chicago White Sox fell to the Mets 2-0 on Saturday, and it marked the 107th loss of the season. And it was in Chicago. They probably was seen by 10 people? And I'm not exaggerating. Sorry. To the gridiron, and the NCAA gridiron, that is. Top-ranked Georgia, they pretty much destroyed and decimated Clemson 34-3. It was 28-3 in the second half. Cam Ward, the quarterback of University of Miami, led the 19th seeded Hurricanes in a rout in the swamp, 41-17. That hurts. I know that hurts my boy Playmaker's heart. Be the Gator fan that he is. Cool, on the other hand, is probably throwing up the U even as we speak. And 7th seeded Notre Dame, 20th seeded Texas A&M. They had an ugly affair in Kyle Field in College Station, but it was an ugly win. But 10 fourth quarter points put the Fighting Irish over the Aggies 23-13. The following weather update is also brought to you by the Weather Channel. Down in the Pacific Northwest, it will be mostly sunny skies with a high of 81 in Seattle. It will be mostly sunny and a high of 73 in Minneapolis. Sunny with a high of 75 in Chicago. Sunny and 90 in St. Louis. Partly cloudy and partly cloudy and 79 in Detroit. Over in the East Coast, it will be partly cloudy skies and 81 degrees in Boston. Cloudy and 84 in New York. Cloudy and 85 in Washington, D.C. Down south, there will be a sun and thunderstorm mix with a high of 83 in Miami. Sun and thunderstorm mix with a high of 90 in Atlanta. Cloudy and 86 in Memphis. Cloudy and 85 in New Orleans. Down in the southwest, it'll be cloudy and 94 in San Antonio. Cloudy and 90 in Dallas. Sun thunderstorm mix with a high of 86 in Houston. All right, in the Rockies, it will be mostly sunny and a high of 88 in Denver. hotspot will be in the desert with mostly sunny skies at 107 in Phoenix, sunny and 104 in Las Vegas. And on the West Coast, sunny with a high of 88 degrees in Hollywood. And it will be mostly sunny skies with a nice cool temperature of 69 degrees in the Bay Area. And that is your look on weather for today. And now you have been properly started up. Coming up, Labor Day, what does it truly mean? And why do we celebrate it so fervently? That will be in our today's cover story. And in lighting the way, work with a little bit of elbow grease. How does that apply biblically? We'll touch on that in lighting the way. But coming up next, DirecTV and Disney. A mess, a mess, a mess. To the point where we saw nothing on the screen if you're a DirecTV user. You're watching BS3 Presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson on Roku TV via BS3, BS3TVLive.com, and the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. You're listening to it live on Real Wise Radio. And we shall return right after this.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered a winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete! 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 Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready.
The Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. BS3 Network is celebrating their 5th anniversary, and they're doing it in style. BS3 Network presents the fifth annual BS3 Network Awards that will take place this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And if you're in the Metroplex area, it's going to be housed at the Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church. It's in Fay, Texas. And for those who don't know or unaware, that is a suburb of the Metroplex, and it's a little east of Dallas. That's the fifth annual BS3 Network Awards that will take place this Sunday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can still vote on your show. You can still vote for this show, and you can get to the link in the description box below. It is bit.ly/BS3 Awards voting. That is bit.ly/BS3 Awards voting. You can get to that and you can vote for your favorite show. Now, BS3 presents the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson is up for 4 awards: Best Podcast Intro, Most Versatile Podcast, The New Kid on the Block, and Podcast of the Year. Vote for your favorite show, but remember, voting ends today. But you can catch who won what at the BS3 Network Awards, the 5th annual, this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can catch it if you can't attend it live on the BS3 YouTube channel. But if you can attend it, you will be entertained. You will have food because there'll be entertainment. There'll be there. There'll be food, and there'll be prizes to be won, and there'll be awards to be given out. The 5th annual BS3 Network Awards this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, on the BS3 Network YouTube channel. Well, I'm so glad you're here with me, Shifter. BS3 presents the Morning Shift for Cole Johnson is back. Cole Johnson back with you. And it feels good to be alive, right? It feels good to smell that air. It feels good to have these eyes awakened. It feels good to just simply enjoy life. And hopefully we get a chance to enjoy life together. And if you don't want to just simply watch the morning shift, but you want to participate, well, that question is easily answered this way. Just go to the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. That's the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel, where BS3 presents the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson comes to you live every weekday, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. If you're out on the West Coast, that would be 5 a.m. Go to the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel, where you can be part of the throng, such as Shift Nation. And if you don't believe that the lifeblood of this show are the comments, you're about to be proven wrong right now. Playmaker, he updated some other stuff as well. He said, Miller Moss, the quarterback of USC, led a game-winning drive as the Trojans, ranked number 23 at the moment. They defeated number 13 LSU 27-20. And Playmaker said, quote, Brian Kelly, get your wannabe country butt out of the South. With not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 angry, obscene emojis. Close quote. He also says for everyone to enjoy the Labor Day. He did that from the government. And unfortunately, he's one of those who has to actually go to work. And I hope the day goes by fast for you, my friend. And I hope you get a chance to enjoy some time off later this week. Cool McCain. I talked one half. I featured one half of Monsters of Wrestling. I featured the other half. He says, Morning Shift Nation, morning to you, sir. You can catch Cool and Playmaker later on today, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central. Monarchs of Wrestling. That'll be on the Shady Sports Network YouTube channel and the Real Play Callers YouTube channel. That is Monarchs of Wrestling, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central. That'll be, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast? Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we would love to say, well, this program is going to be here when, where, and what, and how. But seemingly, it looks like we're having some technical issues with the contract in terms of DirecTV and Disney. In today's program Spotlight, we will touch on why there is such a problem and why DirecTV and Disney are not on the same page. To the point where the feed, if you had DirecTV for anything ESPN or FX or National Geographic or ABC, just went. So yes, there was a game that was supposed to be the focus of Sunday night. That would be the aforementioned LSU USC game in Las Vegas. Those who were looking to tune into that game on Sunday night on DirecTV, they were greeted with one unfortunate happenstance: a blackout. Yeah, unfortunately, due to an ongoing dispute regarding carrier fees between Disney and DirecTV, the game was dropped from ABC as a result, and is resulting in DirecTV users not being able to watch that particular game that night. Unfortunate happenstance. In addition to the blackout, ABC also applies to all of the Disney-owned channels as well. Of course, that would be ESPN, ESPN2, and the other ESPN family networks, and not just there, but also FX and National Geographic. Now, as previously reported by USA Today, DirecTV is looking for, quote, smaller, more tailored packages at prices that reflect value to customers, close quote, per a statement from DirecTV's Chief Content Officer, Rob Thune. That was last week, prior to the start, or I should say, week before last, actually, prior to the start of college football. They went on to say, quote, DirecTV has not yet reached an agreement with Disney. That means Disney-owned channels such as local ABC stations in 8 markets. ESPN and other general entertainment and regional sports channels are currently unavailable. And DirecTV gave more information as to where you can find it. Disney issued a lengthy statement in regard to the current blackout situation of the ESPN family networks yesterday. And their statement says as follows, quote, DirecTV chose to deny millions of subscribers access to our content just as we head into the final week of the U.S. Open and gear for college football and the start of the NFL season. While we're open to offering DirecTV flexibility in terms which we've extended to other distributors, we will not enter into an agreement that undervalues our portfolio of television programs and channels. We invest significantly to deliver the number one brands in entertainment, news, and sports because that's what our viewers expect and deserve. We urge DirecTV to do what's in the best interest of their customers and finalize a deal that would immediately restore our programming. Close quote. Now, DirecTV released this statement on X last night. Quote, just hours before Disney pulled its programming from millions of DirecTV customers, they demanded that to reach any licensing agreement or extend access to its programming, DirecTV must agree to waive all claims that Disney's behavior is anti-competitive. Close quote. Now, one of those two teams that was involved in the 27-20 game, the win that the Trojans had, that would be LSU. The conference of which they represent, the Southeastern Conference, or SEC, they made a brief statement on X as well last night. And it said, quote, attention at SEC fans. If you're at DirecTV customer, you no longer have access to SEC games and coverage on at ESPN or at SEC Network. As negotiations continue in an effort to restore ESPN programming to DirecTV, be reminded that other major TV and streaming providers, like at Dish, at Sling, at Hulu, at YouTube TV, and others carry at ESPN and at SEC Network, close quote. Now, the entire ESPN family of networks were affected. I mean, that is ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ABC, ACC Network, and SEC Network. And that probably would affect also the Texas Longhorns Network also, but they weren't televising that night. Now, it is unfortunate they're going through this right now. The question, of course, would be, is there an end in sight? Unable to reach a deal, Disney's content went dark on DirecTV, and not just of the ESPN family of networks. There were other channels, such as the Disney Channel itself, Disney Junior, Disney XD, FX, FX Movie Channel, FXX, Freeform, and National Geographic. A federal judge recently halted the launch of a new streaming platform called Venu. Now, that was a joint venture between Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers Discovery, as possibly anti-competitive. Now, this first time ever offering of unbundled sports programming from rival companies could cause, quote, irreparable harm, close quote, to sports streaming service Fubo, which brought the lawsuit to the judge in the first place. As talks between DirecTV and Disney happened in recent days, both sides have made moves to get public opinion swayed to their side. DirecTV subscribers watching ESPN saw alerts of the kind saying, DirecTV and DirecTV stream customers, you could lose the ESPN networks. I urge viewers to visit keepmyespn.com to learn more. DirecTV created the site unbundleddisney.com, where it says TV provider is, quote, working with programmers like Disney to provide more choice, control, and value to complement streaming services, close quote. Now, what happens next is unclear. Last year around this time, a carriage dispute between Disney and Charter Communications, that's the parent company of Spectrum Cable, it led to nearly a 2-week blackout there. Now, as of last night, Thune shared with USA Today, quote, there's nobody in a room talking at this point, close quote. Well, you having many a fan pay for the service so they can have the convenience of having whatever they watch, wherever they can watch it, whenever they can watch it. You got to give the people what they want. And I guarantee you what they don't want is a blackout. You've already provided for them, and you're going to end up providing even worse service for them, whether you are Disney or the Walt Disney Company or DirecTV. Because quite frankly, both of you are wearing eggs on your face. Solve this problem and everything will be just fine. Not watch people go elsewhere. And that's not what both DirecTV nor Disney would want. And that is today's program Spotlight. Now, if you want a show that is sort of like a James Lipton type of setting, you know, like Inside the Actor Studio, join my man Wiser Lefe, who interviews stimulating guests of all walks of life, where no matter the subject matter, no matter the person, you will get some nugget of wisdom, some kernel of knowledge that will help you on your way. So join Wiser Lefe and a guest of his choosing. It's Stuck in My Mind podcast that comes to you live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central on Roku TV via BS3 and the Stuck in My Mind podcast YouTube channel. That is Stuck in My Mind podcast live. And it comes to you every Monday, even today, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central on Roku TV. Just hit the BS3 logo on the Roku TV app, BS3TVLive.com, and the Stuck in My Mind podcast YouTube channel. Coming up next, something that is considered as American as apple pie, work. I know that doesn't roll off the tongue, but why is work such an important thing, and why is labor so important? We'll touch on that and its history next. You're watching BS3 Presents the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson of Roku TV via BS3, BS3TVLive.com, and the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. You are listening to it live on the Real Wise Radio Network. We will return right after this.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. Four men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, W-I-Z-E.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. This is a BS3 Network presentation.
So, sit back, tune in, tell a friend. This dope cooking show, we about to get started, and it's about to go down. Check me out.
Join your culinary master of ceremonies, Chef Jeff, as he introduces to you this dope cooking show. Live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central.
Welcome back to BS3 Presents the Morning Shift for Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson, and wow, can't believe we're already halfway through this show. It is an absolutely wonderful day. I know in my area, it's a little bit on the cloudy side, but that's okay. I expect that. It's late summer. Every day it's not going to be sunny, but you know what? Every day above ground is a beautiful day. So the sun doesn't have to shine for the day to be beautiful. And also, you're here with me. So Shifter, that's why it is a beautiful day, most of all, along with the fact that the Lord's with us. But besides that, so glad that you're here. And let me celebrate with this wonderful company that this show partly represents. And I should do it right now. So this network has been in existence since 2019, and it was the bright, I guess you could say the bright mind of one Ben Southern III, and he already had something cooking on the radio side and decided to bring it to TV. And right now, this is the tail end of tail end of the 5th year of the network. And I'm so glad that we get a chance to celebrate something that comes from a wonderful human being and a wonderful group of people. And not just him, my man, Ivan Dawkins, great COO of BS3. And many of the content creators that adorn this network. I mean, from Eric Butler Sr. to Scotty Knox, to Wise, to the Queen 3 King family, to the Forecast family, Wilkes. Yeah, I saw that steak you cooked. Beautiful job, homie. I still say that you're a five-star restaurant chef, and you're doing it some moonlighting somewhere. You probably on the Spindle Top at Hyde, somewhere in one of those 5-star restaurants. I know you are. Inside joke. Sorry. My man H-Rap B, who I got to actually get a chance to talk to because I really haven't connected with him, but I know we have a lot to discuss. Over the Forecast family, of course, Vinny and Terry of the Cats Talk Wednesday crowd. My girls Grace, Tanya, Felicia, and Kim over at Life Happens. Of course, Latoya Therapist, along with Eric with Perspective. And of course, you have Angel Chuan and Scotty with Is It Wednesday Yet? And so many other programming, like my man Sean of The Information Man, and of course, Courtney Harden. Great episode this past Saturday of doing a preview for the NFL Serve, the real deal. And to me, the flagships, the flagships, but the guide-ons of the network. Pastor Dawkins with Standing on the Word on Sunday, and Saturday, Ben Southern Jr. and Irene Southern with Suds of Us podcast. There's many good programming that represent the BS3 network, and there's many quality individuals who helm it. And this Sunday, we're going to celebrate in style. So the BS3 network presents the 5th annual BS3 Network Awards, and it takes place this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And if you can't attend in person, you can watch it on the BS3 Network YouTube channel. Again, if you can't attend in person, you can see it on the BS3 Network YouTube channel. And also, you can vote right now for those shows today. And this show's up for 4. New Kid on the Block, most versatile, new podcast intro, and podcast of the year. You can go to bit.ly/BS3 Awards voting, and you can vote for your favorite show. You can vote for this one as well. But remember, voting ends today. But we're going to celebrate in style Sunday. BS3 Network presents the 5th annual BS3 Network Awards, Sunday evening/night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can see it on the BS3 Network YouTube channel, but you can also attend it live if you're in the Metroplex area. Just go to the Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church in Fate, Texas. That's a suburb east of Dallas. And you can be entertained. You can actually rub it on down. And you can probably get some prizes as well. The BS3 Network Awards. We celebrate the 5th anniversary of this wonderful network in style. Well, thank you, everybody. This is BS3 Presents the Morning Shift for Cole Johnson. Cole Johnson back with you. And that actually, this also can be a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? But it's good. It's good work. And there's a reason why we celebrate so passionately and fervently the concept of work. Now, we'll touch on it in another way in the next segment. But in this segment, in our cover story, we'll touch on the history of why Labor Day exists in America. And maybe not so much in Canada, because they do celebrate Labor Day today as well there. But from the U.S. perspective, we will touch on why it is an important celebration and it's marked as an important holiday, such as Memorial Day, Independence Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, where it is one of the major holidays where most people do take off for it. Now, observed on today, the first Monday in September, Labor Day is an important day that we commemorate labor. It's an annual celebration of the social and economic achievements of the American worker. The holiday is rooted in the late 19th century, where labor activists pushed for a federal holiday to recognize the many contributions workers have made to America's strength, prosperity, and well-being. Now, before it was a holiday, because yes, Labor Day was not a federal holiday, Labor Day was recognized by labor activists in individual states. Now, after city ordinances were passed in 1885 and 1886, a movement developed to secure state legislation took place. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. New York was the first state to introduce such a bill, but Oregon was the first to pass a law recognizing Labor Day, which was not on September, but February, near President's Day time. February 21st, 1887. Now, during that year, 4 more states, Colorado, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York, they passed laws creating a Labor Day holiday. Now, by the end of the decade, Connecticut, Nebraska, and Pennsylvania had followed suit. By 1894, 23 more states had adopted the holiday, and on June 28, 1894, Congress passed an act making it the first Monday in September each year. And on that momentous day, it was made a legal holiday. Now, who proposed this holiday for workers? That is a little bit murky, but 2 workers can make a solid claim to the founder of Labor Day title. Now, some records show that in 1882, Peter J. McGuire, he was a general secretary of the Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners, and a co-founder of the American Federation of Labor, he suggested setting aside a day for, quote, general holiday for the laboring classes, close quote, to honor those, quote, who from rude nature have delved and carved all the grandeur we behold, close quote. But McClure's place in Labor Day history has not gone unchallenged. Many believe that machinist Matthew McGuire, not Peter McGuire, founded the holiday. Recent research seems to support the contention that Matthew McGuire, later the secretary of Local 344 of the International Association of Machinists in Paterson, New Jersey, proposed the holiday back in 1882 while serving as secretary of the Central Labor Union in New York. Now, according to the New Jersey Historical Society, after President Grover Cleveland signed it into law, making it a national holiday, the Paterson Morning Call published an opinion piece stating that, quote, the souvenir pin should go to Alderman McGuire of this city, who is the undisputed author of Labor Day as a holiday, close quote. Both McGuire and McGuire, spelled differently, attended and not related either, attended the first country's Labor Day parade in New York later on that year. The first Labor Day holiday was celebrated on Tuesday, not even Monday, Tuesday, September 5th, 1882 in New York City, in accordance with the plans of the Central Labor Union. Now, the aforementioned union, they decided to hold the second Labor Day holiday a year later, on the same day, September 5th, same date on the calendar, September 5th, 1883. Of course, that would be Monday. By 1894, 23 more states adopted the holiday, and Cleveland signed into law in June, saying that the first Sunday in September would be that day that we will always commemorate the nationwide holiday. Now, many Americans celebrate Labor Day with parties and parades, festivities very similar to those outlined in the first proposal for the holiday, which suggested that the day should be observed with like a street parade to exhibit, quote, the strength and esprit de corps of the trade and labor unions, close quote, of the community, followed by a festival for the recreation and amusement of the workers and their families. Now, this became the pattern for celebrations of the day when it newly was a federal holiday. Speeches were prominent by men and women, and they were introduced later as more emphasis was placed on the economic and civic significance of the holiday. Now, still later, by a resolution of the American Federation of Labor Convention of 1909, the Sunday preceding Labor Day adopted as Labor Sunday and dedicated to the spiritual and educational aspects of the labor movement. Now, American labor has raised the nation's standard of living and contributed to the greatest production the world has ever known, and the labor movement has brought us closer to the realization that our traditional ideals and economic political democracy. It is appropriate, therefore, that the nation pays tribute on Labor Day to the creator of so much of the nation's strength, freedom, and leadership. That would be the American worker. And I think we somewhat like Memorial Day, I think we lose sight of the reason why we celebrate it. Because we get caught up in, well, it's a holiday, it's a day to take off. But it actually has some significance. And that significance is work is sort of at the center and the cornerstone, if you will. Thank you, Dusty Rhodes, of what America stands for. It's it was built on the, and we hear it all the time. You don't want to have help from anything, government or any other person. You can get up by the strength of your own self, pull up your own bootstraps, get your hands dirty, and just get to work. And hard work seems to be as American, like I said earlier, as apple pie, as commemorating soldiers who died on the battlefield, as celebrating the country's birthday, and to a lesser extent, even Veterans Day and Thanksgiving. Even though Canadians do celebrate Labor Day too, Labor Day here in the United States is American because we tip our caps to those who work hard to have our freedoms continue. And it does not necessarily have to only be first responders and police. It could be you, the American worker itself. And we here at the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson, the BSU Network, Columbia Media Incorporated, we send our prayers, we send our thank yous and our gratitude to the worker. It is with you in mind that we celebrate today, and we celebrate every day, because Labor Day is important. Labor is important because you make it important. So thank you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes today's, that concludes our cover story. Now, they probably won't talk about Labor Day history, but who knows? They may have some sort of documentary or movie that they're going to discuss. Join BS3, Wilkes, A-Trap B, and King Doc as the four brothers disseminate a movie, a documentary, or a TV series that they hold so dear. And they touch on movie reviews their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast that comes to you live every Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central on Roku TV via BS3, the BS3 Network YouTube channel, BS3 Network Facebook page, and the _forecast YouTube channel. That is The Forecast. Yes, FOURCAST. You can watch those four gentlemen live every Monday. That's right. BS3, Wilkes, HRB, and King Dog. 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central on the Roku TV. Just hit the BS3 logo on the Roku TV app. BS3TVLive.com. The BS3 Network YouTube channel, the BS3 Network Facebook page, and the _forecast YouTube channel. Coming up next, work. Now, we touched on how it patriotically is important. How is it important to the Christian life, especially to God himself? You're watching BS3 presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson on the BS3 Network, via Roku TV, BS3TVLive.com, and the BS3 Morning Shift Cole Johnson YouTube channel. You're listening to it live on the Real Wise Radio Network. We will return right after this.
The moderator.
As woman, you can't be too friendly because the minute you're friendly, then they think you're flirting.
The level head.
I think so that thing is over. So I'm not looking at men like that anymore.
The truth slayer.
Okay, what in the HPV yeast infection is going on over here?
The X factor.
So I'd rather you tell me everything up front and let's start fresh.
The intersection of life and spirituality never sounded this good. BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there seeing LA Knight. Oh, okay, nigga. LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street y'all done had problems, maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
The 5th annual BS3 Network Awards is here. That's right. You can join them on the BS3 Network YouTube channel and watch that award show live this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. If you can attend it live, go to the Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church. That is in Fayette, Texas. And of course, that is an eastern suburb of the Metroplex itself. You can have awards get to you prizes. There's entertainment there. You can also be served food as well, and you can enjoy yourself with a bunch of family. I guarantee you, whenever the BS3 network family gets together, it is family. That's just how they roll. That's how they get down. BS3 Network Awards, and you get a chance to watch these wonderful shows and wonderful content creators get awarded things such as most versatile podcast, show of the year, New Kid on the Block, podcast intro, funniest podcast, funniest, the best sports podcast, the best niche show. There's many awards that you'll get a chance to see from the many wonderful content creators from all across the country, actually, participate in. The BS3 Network Awards, the 5th annual award show, comes to you this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. If you can attend it live, it is at the Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church. That's in Fate, Texas, suburb of Dallas. If you can't, you can watch it on the BS3 Network YouTube channel. You can also vote for these shows, but the voting ends today. Go to bit.ly/BS3 Awards voting, and you can cast your ballot for any of the networks that comes and emanates from the BS3 Network, including this one. Again, voting ends today. The BS3 Network Awards, the 5th annual, comes to you live Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central at Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church in Fate. And you can watch it on the BS3 Network YouTube channel. Welcome back to BS3 Presents the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson. So glad that you're here, Shifter, and I'm so glad that we got a chance to celebrate Labor Day together before we actually get a chance to really relax and enjoy ourselves or get ready to go to work. Been there. Worked many a Labor Day myself. But I'm just so glad that you're here. And I just want you to be blessed. And I want you to be understanding of the gift that you are, because you are a gift. So am I. We're gifts. And we got to treat life as such, and we got to treat ourselves as such. And let's be completely real. It's hard work. It's hard work to be ourselves, to not have things affect us, to have dreams that we want to have come true, probably at that time not, to be delayed or deferred with whatever dream we have. It's tough. It can be tough for anybody. But it takes work to get from one glory to another. You know, from faith to faith and glory to glory, it takes work. And how does Jesus like that? No. How does God like that? That's today's Lighting the Way. Father God, in the name of Jesus, thank you so much for being in the midst. Your word says, and when 2 or 3 are gathered together in your name, you will be in the midst. So I thank you, Lord. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Holy Spirit, for being in this room, this virtual room, that is. I thank you for being in the midst, and I thank you for blessing all of us, all the shifters in the world. Your word says that we are all supposed to go out into the world and preach the gospel to the ends of the earth. So may we all be ministers, not of ourselves, but of you. May we go out and bless others to you, win others who don't know you to you. Work to be our best selves because you are in us. Your word says, now unto him or her who can exceedingly abundantly do all that they could ever ask or think, according to the power which dwells within them. So it always begs the question, what power is dwelling within us? And the answer should and is the Holy Spirit. And so if the Holy Spirit is in us, then we can do exceedingly abundantly all that we could ever ask or think. That with our own natural body, we're not as powerful as your supernatural blessing over our lives. So we thank you for that. And it takes dedication, it takes discipline, and it takes work for us to get that happen. You love work, but you don't want us to work ourselves down to the nub. You want us to work smart and not hard. You want us to work wise and not stupid. You want us to work with knowledge and not with our own way, because your word does say that we should trust in you and not lean to our own understanding, Lord. So we thank you for that. We thank you for your wisdom, ever so present, ever omnipresent. We thank you, Lord. And so the message that you have for us when it comes to work, let it be unfiltered by me. Let the ego for me, let the emotions by me, let the thoughts of me be gone. None of me and all of you. Let that represent this message as I'm a lighthouse of your word. Let it come through me, not from me. Let it come from you through me to the shifters. And may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be always accepted in your sight. Lord, you're my rock, my strength, and my redeemer. In Jesus' name. Amen. So we talked about work for most of this episode. And you sometimes have to think, work. This seems to be such an important thing. It seems to be such an important trait. Why? Why is it such an important trait even outside of the will of God that it's talked about so much? I mean, just with manhood itself. With manhood. Most people, whether it is the mother or the father, ingrain in their boys before they become men that one of the ways you get judged is the willingness of hard work. The willingness for you to get your hands dirty. The willingness for you to do jobs that pretty much the average person doesn't want to do. The understanding that within your gut that it takes a lot of sweat equity, as they say, to get along in life. Now, that lesson for me came when my father, when I was in high school, said that, I want you to do what you feel. I want you to do what you're passionate about. However, no matter what you do, you're gonna have to learn that it takes work to do it. You got to sacrifice to do it. You got to do the tasks that nobody wants to do. You got to put in the time no one wants to put in. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of sweat. And it takes a lot of work to get what you want. And you got to learn that work ethic. And my father was the project manager of a lot of janitors. So he wanted me to learn the art of hard work. And I did it through cleaning toilets, through dusting furniture, through vacuuming rugs, through pressure washing concrete, and through buffering tile. I did all of that. And I guarantee you, even as a teenager, I went home and felt every single thing on my body ache. I felt everything in my body say, you don't want to do this. And it harkens me back to when I watched the Jacksons miniseries, where the Lawrence Hilton Jacobs character who played Joe, he brought a whole lot of cinder blocks for his boys, and he had it stacked on the lawn, and he pulled the truck flatbed first to face the lawn. And so the boys were coming from school, and forget if it was Tito or Jackie, but it was one of the oldest of the siblings. And I think it was Jackie. He asked Joe, he says, wait, why we have to do this? Why we have to lug these cinder blocks from here to the truck? Why we got to do this? We don't have to do this. And Joe gave a very profound answer. He said, quote, I'm having you do this for two reasons. One, so that no matter what you do, you'll know what it takes to get to where you're going to go. And two, if you don't do what you love, you'll see where you'll end up. Close quote. And I go back to my father. So it made me think, wow, so Dad wanted me to understand that no matter what, there's work out there. Even if you have to clean, even if you have to be a dishwasher in a restaurant, it doesn't matter. It's work. You got to do it. Now, I had to have that in the meter within me. Do I want to do this menial work, or do I want to birth what's in me, tap into the purpose that I have, and do the work that God has for me? Because the work that God had for me was not to buffer floors, not to mop floors, not to vacuum floors. And I'm not demeaning that, but it was a way to learn the hard work ethic. And I learned in studying the word that it is a biblical thing. The ethos of hard work, the ethos of work itself, it is a biblical principle. Don't believe me, just go straight to I call it the wisdom book, or the book of Proverbs, where Solomon just lays it out for you plain as day, rolls it out for you, and rolls it out for me plain as day. 14th chapter, 23rd verse, he says, in all toil there is profit, but mere talk tends only to poverty. Proverbs 14:23. In all toil there is profit, but mere talk tends only to poverty. Now, why is work important to all of us? That, I think, is a question we must have to address. Work is important to all of us because we all are assigned to do something by God. We are all assigned to do something. And if we don't tap into that assignment, we'll do what the world wants us to do work-wise. And if we don't do what the world wants us to do work-wise, we'll be in prison. If you don't believe me, you've heard many a mother say, I got on my boy, I got on my girl so that she can attend Penn State, because I did not want them to attend the state pen. That understanding of you just got to work at things. You got to work in school to get the diploma in high school and degree in college. You got to work to earn the money you have in the job that you get. You got to actually even work to get the promotion that you want. I mean, you got to work even when you are in between jobs. Yeah, because finding a job is a working process. Work is important to all of us because it gives us the purpose to live and to move and have our being. It means that we go to work on our purpose. more than just, of course, to glorify God, which of course that is one of our biggest purposes on earth. But God gave us all something to do. Like Jesus was a carpenter. David was a general. Solomon was a king. Many of the early biblical figures were shepherds. So we have work to do, both in what we occupationally do to bring home money and our own personal selves to better ourselves. So what does it mean when Solomon says mere talk tends only to poverty? It's a really good question. I know all of you have heard this phrase. I've heard it. I've heard it said to me a couple times. Quote, if you're going to talk the talk, you better walk the walk. Close quote. To say that you're going to do something is one thing. To do something is another. And if you don't do what you say, people will disrespect you, or they will not take you seriously. They will take it for granted. So that's what Solomon means when he says the mere talk only tends to poverty, meaning your word has to mean something. So if you say it, then apply the elbow grease to the words that you expended. Otherwise, if it's just talk, it's going to profit you. No. To say it's going to profit you nothing actually will be wrong. It will profit you less than nothing. If you just talk about it and you don't do anything, it'll profit you less than nothing. Many of us have had, I got to get this business off the ground. I got this business idea I got to do. I have this project that I must take care of. I have this book I got to write. Whatever have you. Then you throw the caveat in there, the but, the one word that stops all things from happening. But I'm not smart enough. But I don't have enough time. But I'm not equipped enough. But I don't have enough wisdom to do it. But I don't have enough information to actually have all of this take place and have happen. But. That also can lead to poverty too, because you are killing your dream. You're killing your possibility of something of work which can touch somebody's life. And having that type of talk, I'm not good enough. I suck at this. I'm meaningless. That also can lead to poverty, because you're talking down to yourself. And you're giving self-fulfilling prophecy of, well, heck, okay, you believe you're nothing? Well, nothing is what you'll get. Well, that's not what you're supposed to do, because you are more than nothing. You're something. You're on this earth. You got to participate in this earth. And if you're going to participate in this earth, that means you got to participate knowing that you are something. And so you can't speak negative about yourself. Otherwise, you will be in an impoverished situation. You will be immersed in squalor. So not only do you have to put elbow grease to what you say, you also have to watch what you say, because you might kill the possible work that can turn into a profit. That's profit, profit. So you got to be careful with what you say. Otherwise, just the talk itself can lead you to squalor. Now, how can we profit in all toil? Well, the thing is, the lessons we learn don't necessarily always have to be from a monetary benefit. Now, ultimately, it is going to be a monetary benefit. But you work in volunteer work. You don't get paid for that monetarily, but you do get paid for it in how you touch a person's life, how your presence made a difference. You do get paid there. Hobbies. Now, you can do something and don't get paid for it, but it makes you feel better. You know, like for my father, for example, he paints. And he is such a wonderful artist. I mean, and he has painted things from social commentary to just food for thought to anything scriptural and spiritual and Christian. And he has a great eye for detail. And he does black and white imagery. So he has all these elaborate shapes, but he does it with only 3 tones, black, white, and shades of gray. He tells the story of whatever he paints in only 3 colors. And I find that to be the most remarkable thing about his work, about his art, that he doesn't, I hate to say it like this, he doesn't dumb it down with color, that he lets you climb into whatever story he paints, and you can paint the tapestry with whatever color you would see it, how you would see it. But he allows you with just black, white, and gray to participate in such beautiful artistry. He's never gotten paid for any of his artwork. However, he painted 12 Stations of the Cross in the church in which he, my mother, and I attended, and those 2 attend to this day. In fact, they celebrated their 40th anniversary of attending that church this year. And he gets enjoyment out of explaining what went in his mind when he painted station number 7, station number 3, station number 10. I mean, he gets joy out of it. To me, I think he gets more joy out of that than actually say, I got this, I did this, and I was contracted for this amount of money to do it. He profited and profits, because everybody who comes to the church and they see that, they say, wow, that is great. Who is the artist for this? Who painted this? Who drew this? His legacy will extend. Now, it will extend through me too, but I mean, his legacy with his art or through his art will pay him. Now, does that mean that we should not seek toil that profits money? No. It definitely means we should seek toil that profits money. We just can't love the money. But it is important to understand the essence of work, what it's supposed to bring, why the purpose of work exists, and why the work brings us profit. But you got to understand that sometimes profit does not mean money. Now, it'd be great if that profit is money and what we toil in doing. Yes. And one day you might be blessed to have that. And I think it's something we all should strive and ascribe to do. We should build something that gets us profit from our own hands, and that helps someone else get rich. No question about that. But if you legitimately do not have the time to do it, or if you lack the education to pursue it, or if you if you seem to be bereft of resources. Understandable. But you and I have to work toward getting that, whatever it is, whether it's resources, tools, education, what have you. It is up to us to actually let that toil that we do supposed to have, that burns within us all, to turn to profit. Because then we get to really bless people. So when should we celebrate the thought of hard work? Let's see. Right now. We should celebrate it today. We should celebrate it right now. We should celebrate it tomorrow. We should have celebrated it yesterday. We should celebrate it all the time, every day. Because hard work is great. Smart work, of course, is great too. But remember, the first half of this scripture, in all toil there's profit, meaning Solomon saying to us, if you put in the work, you're going to gain something of great value. And if you do it well enough and you touch on enough pain points, you'll get enough profit to where you might have as much riches as Solomon did. That's the hope. That's the prayer. And hopefully that is going to be what happens with us, all of us. You, me, anybody who's watching this or listening to this. Work is a beautiful thing, especially if it's something that we're passionate enough to, that we're doing, because the award is magnificent. And we should be blessing others with the toil of our labor. That's why this program exists. Because this was something that was birthed within me when I was 8. I wasn't even out of grammar school. I was years from graduating from grammar school when this was a seed planted within me. 2nd grade. I was in 2nd grade. Sorry, 3rd grade. I was in 3rd grade when this was birthed within me. 3rd grade. And for many decades, I was hurt because I just didn't feel purposed. And now I'm doing what God wanted me to do, the seed that God had planted within me as an 8-year-old boy. When I saw Brian Gumbel do this for the first time, and I saw him do it on a different platform than what I originally came to know him as being. And I remember saying the words, I can do that. I remember saying those 4 words, I can do that. I remember saying that. I could do that. And now I am doing it. And in this toil, you, shifter, are the beginning of my profit. And I'm so thankful for all of you. And hopefully you'll be blessed. And I'll continue to be blessed by having this platform for you. Because not all toil is bad. But the toil that reaps a profit, that changes the world. And that's what we are. World changers. Before I head on out, a memorial. A Labor Day greeting from Snowman says, "Preach, sir, preach." And good morning. Hashtag Chef Nation. It's good to see you, my brother. And yes, tune into, I believe it is today, tune into Snowman Multimedia at about top of the next hour, actually. 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. You will be seeing year number 11 of Snowman in the Morning Emanate. So good luck to you, sir. Hope the year begins bright and well for you. And I have to prepare for my show that comes on at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central now. Total Football Talk. And you can catch Drew and me. We will break down some of the CFL. We'll break down the NFL upcoming week, which it sounds exciting to say, and other stuff too. But that's all the time I have. Thank you so much for joining me on this special Labor Day edition. And I hope you all have been blessed as I have been blessed by you. For all of us here at the BS3 Network, Coleman Media Incorporated, and The Morning Shift, I am Cole Johnson, here to say in parting, as I always do. If you lack commitment, you will never start. If you lack consistency, you will never finish. And if you lack love, Shifter, I guarantee you, you will never, ever conquer. Till we do this again in 23 Hours, Shifter, I thank you. I love you. You are a blessing. Go out into the world and preach the gospel to the ends of the earth because you are said blessing. And how do I know this definitively? Because right now you are a blessing to me. Hopefully, I am a blessing to you. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your morning. Enjoy Labor Day. And understand that with work, the best part about it is great rest. So have a great rest of your day and have great rest on this day if you can. So long, Shifter. I love you. God bless you.